afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Tuesday, the last day of November.
That's right. It doesn't feel like it, does it?
Not at all.
No, it's beautiful outside.
Yeah, we'll get to the weather in just a minute. But first, breaking at 4, police say a teenager in Michigan shot and killed several classmates today. We'll share what we know so far.
The Omicron variant has been found in 12 different countries. So how effective are our vaccines against it?
Plus, a quiet stretch. We're unpacking the 9-day gun deer season in Wisconsin, which featured great weather but fewer opportunities to bag a buck. Let's take a look outside. Beautiful day today.
Did we hit 50 degrees?
I don't know. We'll find out. We have a mild start to December coming up tomorrow. Julian's in the backyard. Boy, it's unusually warm for this time of year.
That's right. It is unusually warm, and it's still pretty gorgeous out. We're still not even seeing much cloud cover in our sky. It's still pretty blue as the sun is beginning to set for us as we're heading into the rest of our evening. But as we take a look, we are going to be seeing just exactly how warm we were today. We were close, Susan, but we didn't hit 50. We're 48 degrees for today is our high, but that's well above our average. It's 38 degrees usually when we're closing out November. So that just goes to show you just how mild of a day we've been having, and it's going to just get milder throughout the rest of the week. But as we're going in throughout the rest of this afternoon, going into the evening hours, we're seeing those temperatures starting to slowly but surely decline into those lower 40s as we get into about those 30s for tonight. But wind speeds aren't too bad, just onto single digits as we're going into the evening hours. But for the next few hours, we will be seeing those temperatures go into those 30s and hover into the above 20 degrees and the lower 30s as well. But as we take a look for tonight, it's going to become cloudy, and we're going to be seeing that light mix heading into the overnight hours going into the early morning. But as we take a quick look at traffic, just to switch our gears onto the belt line, not too bad until you get onto the eastern half where we're looking at some slow spots. But looking into the interstate, we're all green as of right now. But that's it for traffic, but we'll talk more about what else to expect, especially for our morning commutes in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
All right, Julian, we'll see you in just a little bit. Thank you. More on that breaking news now that we mentioned off the top of the show. Police say a 15-year-old sophomore shot and killed 3 students and wounded 6 others, including a teacher at a high school in Michigan.
Authorities arrested the suspect at the school and recovered a handgun. They didn't immediately release the names of the suspect nor victims. At a news conference, police did not know what the motive was for the attack this afternoon at Oxford High School, which is just north of Detroit.
You never want to prepare for something like this, but you have to. And the school district's done a wonderful job preparing. All the doors over there are marked at the high school. If you've seen them, deputies responded. They knew where to go. We've had assistance from other police agencies nearby.
Around 2 o'clock, medical helicopters, including the University of Michigan's survival flight, landed in the parking lot of the school as a secondary search was being conducted around the perimeter of the school. After the lockdown was lifted, students from the high school were sent to the parking lot across the street from the school. The final numbers are in from Wisconsin's 9-day gun deer hunt.
Our Eric Franke has more on the final tally that shows a downward trend in some areas more than others. Eric?
Susan and Mark, these are the numbers. About 8% fewer deer were taken during the 9-day hunt that ended on Sunday. That's about 15,000 fewer deer. Bucks were down about 1.3%. The antlerless deer take down about 13%. Only one management zone, the Northern Forest Management Zone in the whole state, saw a bigger number this year. That was up about 9.3%. But around here, the Southern Farmland Zone, numbers down 17%, something DNR officials called eye-opening, but can't really explain those lower numbers just yet.
There's human nature and sociology involved in here as well as biology. And so it's probably more complicated than just, making a presumption right now that there's one particular thing that was going on this year.
Now, the weather was good for that entire stretch, although the lack of snow may have hurt visibility a bit, and the wetlands weren't frozen over, so access to certain areas was a bit more difficult. Now, Pritzl speculated more hunters may have opted for bow hunting. That started in September. It'll go through the end of January. The gun deer hunt, though, remains the most popular. Now, as far as safety, there were 5 gun-related injuries during the hunt and 1 fatality. Mark?
All right, Eric, thank you. The CDC has expanded its vaccine guidance to recommend all U.S. adults get a booster shot as concerns over the new Omicron variant grows. The CDC issued new guidance saying everyone ages 18 and older should get a booster 6 months after their initial Pfizer or Moderna series or 2 months after J&J. Federal health officials say there is no evidence of the new strain in the U.S. yet.
Fully anticipate this protection, at least in part, will be beneficial against Omicron.
Moderna CEO reportedly said the existing vaccines will be much less effective against Omicron, telling the Financial Times, quote, "All the scientists I've talked to are like, this is not going to be good." On CBS This Morning, NIH Director Dr. Francis Collins urged patience while we wait for answers.
An FDA advisory committee, meanwhile, is meeting today to decide if Merck's pill to treat COVID-19 should get emergency use authorization. Merck says the drug reduces the risk of hospitalization or death by about 30%. To be effective, people would need to take multiple pills several times a day for 5 days. If the FDA gives the green light, it will be the first antiviral pill to treat COVID.
November is the 20th anniversary of a groundbreaking Alzheimer's study that's advancing the field of research here in Wisconsin and internationally. The study began with one participant in November of 2001. 20 years later, with more than 1,700 research participants and 2 decades of data collection, it's become the largest family history study of Alzheimer's disease in the world. The study follows participants 70% with a family history of Alzheimer's disease over time to learn about biological health and lifestyle factors that might influence the disease. Every 2 years, participants come in for memory testing, blood draws, and interviews.
Our participants know this disease up close and personal, many of them. And I think that is a dynamic in play here with regard to their willingness and dedication to the study. They want to make a difference in solving the problem of Alzheimer's disease.
In the future, researchers hope to be able to detect signs of the disease in blood samples that have been frozen, in some cases, for almost 2 decades.
President Biden signed 4 bipartisan bills into law today, all aimed at improving the lives of those who have served in the military. Surrounded by the lawmakers who fought for the legislation, President Biden signed the 4 bills into law. Senator Tammy Duckworth, a veteran and a mother herself, co-sponsored the Protecting Moms Who Serve Act, aimed at improving maternal care for veterans and studying racial disparities in maternal health care.
People who step up and serve our country need to know that they are not forgotten after service.
Another bill signed today directs the VA to recruit military medical personnel to help fill open federal health care positions, including at the VA. And another piece of legislation orders a study on racial disparities in benefits to make sure that every service member receives what they've earned.
Well, today, the chair of the Federal Reserve told Congress inflation is likely to keep rising in the short term, pointing to supply chain logjams and the pandemic. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell and Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen warned a Senate panel that uncertainty over the supply chain and the Omicron COVID-19 variant may cause inflation to rise into the new year.
Greater concerns about the virus could reduce people's willingness to work in person, which would slow progress in the labor market and intensify supply chain disruptions.
The progress of our economy, of our economic recovery, can't be separated from our progress against the pandemic.
Today, President Biden traveled to Minnesota to sell the Build Back Better Act and the bipartisan infrastructure law. Meanwhile, the Federal Trade Commission has asked several major retailers and grocers to submit documents as part of its probe into supply chain disruptions and rising prices.
Well, with Black Friday and Cyber Monday in the rearview mirror now, many are shifting their focus on this Giving Tuesday to charities and causes they care about. Rob Hill took his 3-year-old son to drop a donation into the world's largest Salvation Army red kettle in Times Square. The Salvation Army hopes donations will be just as large this giving season. During the pandemic, they've doubled the number of meals served to people in need.
What is it that keeps you donating? Well, I feel at times that people do need it more than I do.
Experts are concerned this year might be more challenging for nonprofits. Supply chain problems and rising inflation have led to higher prices for basic necessities, and that's making charitable giving difficult for some. If you're wondering where to start, experts recommend a nonprofit that benefits your local community.
Parker Cruz's life may have ended in July when he disappeared in the Wisconsin River, but his family and friends are making sure his story is far from over. Today, more than 100 people gathered gathered at a church in Black Earth to remember the 22-year-old with stories and pictures. The search for his remains is ongoing, but once he's found, his family hopes to pass on some good to the next person lost in the river.
After we do find Parker, we're going to band together with some of the people that have been helping us search to have a River Valley area search and rescue, because there isn't one. Maybe we can make a difference for another family.
The Cruz family says they'll continue their search for Parker's remains until he's found.
The Plover community and law enforcement officers from across the state gathered today to honor a state trooper who died from COVID complications. 42-year-old Master Trooper Daniel Stainbrook passed away earlier this month. Family, friends, and colleagues said their final goodbyes during a visitation and funeral today. Governor Tony Evers ordered flags to fly at half-staff in honor of Stainbrook. A GoFundMe page has been set up for his wife and 2 daughters.
We all wear the same uniform, the same badge, and we all have that same calling to public safety, public service. And so it's difficult whether we were very close with him or whether we just simply wore the uniform or were a member of the law enforcement community.
Stainbrook was the second Wisconsin law enforcement officer who died from COVID complications in November. Beloit police officer, 48-year-old Daniel Daly, who worked for the department for 24 years, also died this month.
Portillo's opened a new location in West Madison today with a ribbon-cutting ceremony. The popular Chicago-style restaurant celebrated its opening day and opened to the public 30 minutes later. The 7,800 square foot building can seat over 180 people, located in West Town Mall. The restaurant also features an outdoor patio and a 50s and 60s inspired dining theme. Michael Portillo, son of the founder, was at the ribbon cutting.
And look who's first in line.
Yeah, no surprise there. All attendees could receive a limited edition t-shirt.
So we're really proud that wherever we go, not only do we stay true to who Portillo's is, but we actually try to involve the communities we're in, the state we're in, make it something relevant that somebody can talk about and say, I was there.
And as we mentioned, News 3 Now's very own Gary Canalti was there at the opening, to the surprise of absolutely no one in the newsroom. Portillo's also presented nearly $19,000 to its local charity partner, Society of St. Vincent de Paul, Madison.
Oh, that makes me happy to see Gary so happy.
He's been waiting for 20 years for this day.
That's fantastic.
Right.
Yes, you did. You waited a long time.
Well, still to come at 4, it's National Epilepsy Awareness Month.
When we come back, we'll talk with former News 3 anchor Sarah Carlson about her journey with epilepsy and the new drug that has turned her life around. That's when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
You're watching News 3 Now, live at 4.
The Menards Black Friday sale. Hurry in for best selection. Price is good through December 5th. Relax in style with this heated massage rocker recliner. Only $249.99. Stay warm this winter with this 54-inch electric fireplace. It can also fit up to a 65-inch TV. On sale for $219.99 after rebate. Check out these and more amazing Black Friday deals at Menards. Available in store only while supplies last.
Save big money at Menards.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. When it comes to saving money, the Marshalls are masterful. But back in the day, that was not the case. Today, savings is what drives them. That's why they chose Consumer Cellular.
You live and learn.
They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch today and get $100.
These are the faces that smile so wide at the friends and staff who are by their side, where life is lived with a feeling of pride on every bump of life's great ride that comes from the care that sweetens the air that lives in the house that angels built. Attic Angel Community, independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living built with the help of angels.
Whether you have a design emergency or you just want to shop the best furniture showroom in town, you need Dwellings, Madison's best kept secret for design and furniture. Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Welcome back. Rihanna can now add national hero to her list of titles.
The pop star was honored today by the Prime Minister during an event in Bridgetown, Barbados. The ceremony commemorated Barbados becoming a republic and leaving the reign of the British monarchy after nearly 400 years. The 33-year-old Rihanna will be the 11th national recognized person for their roles in positively changing Barbados. Rihanna was previously named an ambassador to the country in 2018.
Congrats to her.
Yeah.
For the first time ever, the summit of Greenland saw rain instead of snow this past August. The shift came as the northern hemisphere experienced a warmer than usual summer. That's according to a new study published in the journal Nature Communications. That could be the norm in just 40 or 50 years. Researchers say the Arctic is expected to see more rain than snow between 2060 and 2070. This ramps up previous predictions, which suggested the new climate pattern would occur between 2090 and 2100. The increase in rainfall is caused in part by the loss of sea ice.
In Latin America and in the Caribbean, there is a food crisis. 60 million people are suffering from hunger. That is the worst it's been in more than 20 years, according to a United Nations report that was released today. This as lockdowns, travel restrictions, and the economic fallout from the pandemic hit the most vulnerable the hardest. The region is mirroring the malnutrition worsened by the pandemic that is happening across the world.
It's a battle of the athletic brands. Popular fitness apparel brand Lululemon is suing Peloton over copyright products. The company launched its private label in September called Peloton Apparel. Lululemon is seeking triple damages for what it calls willful infringement of 6 design patents. The company says the copies are of 5 women's bras and legging products. Lululemon sent a letter to Peloton threatening to take legal action if they didn't stop selling the knockoffs. And 5 days before Lululemon filed in Los Angeles federal court, Peloton sought a declaration in Manhattan in federal court that claims it had no merit.
So stay tuned. Stay tuned on that one. Well, many Americans do not feel so optimistic about the economy. Consumer confidence dipped in November. Assessments and a near-term outlook for incomes, businesses, and job conditions also fell, and concerns about rising prices and the Omicron variant and the Delta variant are primary reasons that confidence dipped. Another concern, the resurgence of infections and price increases that may threaten economic growth in the coming months.
Taking all that into account, another devastating day on Wall Street. As investors worry about all of those things, the Dow Industrials dropped 652 points, or nearly 2%. The NASDAQ fell 245 points. The S&P 500 was off 88 points. Well, November is National Epilepsy Awareness Month.
Epilepsy is one of the most common conditions affecting the brain. 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed with it, including a familiar face in Madison.
Former News 3 anchor Sarah Carlson was diagnosed in 2008. She's about to mark 16 months seizure-free.
Wow.
Sarah joins us now from her home in Middleton. Great to see you again.
It's so great to see you.
Hi, it's great to be back.
Take us back to 2008. How did you know something was wrong?
Oh gosh, it feels like it was yesterday. I was anchoring the news and
able to read a teleprompter, much like you two do, and just felt something was wrong. So my seizure at the time was a little bit lighter than it became later, and it actually saved my life because doctors ended up finding a brain tumor. Which we were able to remove, and it was not cancerous. But my seizures changed over time. Basically, epilepsy saved my life because of the tumor, but it was just a strange feeling at first, and then it changed to lots of different things. I would stop talking sometimes, or I would sit down, or I would speak strange ways. So many things to learn about it and understand.
Well, we learned a lot about epilepsy when we were working with you, and people who have lived in Madison who were here in 2011 may remember you had a seizure when you were on the air with us, and we have the video of that, which we just want to make clear you have asked us to share with our viewers because it's very enlightening about what a seizure is and what we're talking about. Let's take a look, and then we'll get your reaction. Sorry about that, Sarah. We couldn't get the audio up to show that video. But I was anchoring with you that day, and you handled it a lot more gracefully than I did. What do you remember about that?
Well, the truth is, I remembered parts of it and remembered thinking, keep going, because I had been able to keep going so often on TV with epilepsy. It turns out what I learned a few years later is that my epilepsy had changed and worsened. So I don't remember as much as you, probably. And I was just devastated, honestly, because I had a neurologist, a very smart one in town here in Madison, who saw that and saw that coming and knew that TV news was too much because stress can be a big, it can be bad for people with epilepsy.
So you've been seizure-free now for 16 months.
That's incredible.
Yeah, fast forward, although it's been a very long journey. I started a new medication, Xcopri, and in August of 2020. And again, that feels like, I don't know, now it feels like forever ago. So 16 months I've been seizure-free, an absolute dream. And you mentioned 1 in 26 people have epilepsy. So many people are told when they're being treated, sometimes people are treated successfully immediately. And in my case, that didn't happen. We went through probably a dozen different medications, if not more, and I didn't give up hope. And I was working with another physician who didn't give up hope either. And when he said, you know, I've been hearing good things about this Xcopri, let's give it a shot, it worked. So that's what I just want to, you know, if I do nothing else, I say to people with epilepsy and those who may have it some other time in their life or someone they know, don't give up hope. You know, keep on fighting and talk to your doctor.
Is this drug readily available?
It is, yeah.
It's not experimental or anything?
Not at all, no. It is readily available, and it's been the turning point in my life, big time.
Well, just seeing how well you're doing and what you've overcome and that it's possible to be seizure-free gives people so much hope. What does this, what does this Epilepsy Awareness Month mean for you?
Oh, gosh. It means everything to me. It goes by too fast, and we have holidays coming around it here at the end, but I just hope that, again, keeping hope and also remembering that there are so many people out there with different versions of epilepsy, and people develop it later in life for so many different reasons, for head injuries, because of what I had. I think Epilepsy Awareness Month is a reminder that every month matters, and this is one to sort of raise it up a little bit, talk about it a little bit more, and then try not to forget to talk about it. And it's something I do a lot. I'm a runner, and I continue to run with the Epilepsy Foundation for charitable causes and things like that. So that happens at different times of the year. But I just hope that other people understand it's changing, and medicine is changing.
And now you're an epilepsy advocate traveling around the country talking about this new miracle drug.
It's what I hope to do. I mean, if I can do that, if anything, giving back. I suppose there was a reason, and that makes me a bit emotional, but a reason that I was handed this.
Aww.
It's so good to see you again, Sarah, and congratulations on being seizure-free for this long. Continued good health.
And welcome back to Madison.
Yeah,
it's great to have
thanks
you
for
back.
having me.
All right.
Thanks, Sarah.
Well, there's more at 4. It's a talking Christmas tree. Sounds very festive, right?
Well, not everyone thinks so. You be the judge coming up after Julian's first warn forecast.
Attention South Central Wisconsin homeowners. It's the best time of the year to update your old bathroom with huge Black Friday savings this month at Mad City Baths, Wisconsin's #1 remodeler and trusted local source for baths, custom tub to shower conversions, and walk-in tubs installed in as little as 1 day. Now with Black Friday savings, save $250 with interest-free financing for 6 months and get $250 in Mad City cash. But act now and triple your savings. Save $750 on a new bath or shower with interest-free financing for 18 months and triple it to $750 in Mad City cash for future home improvement projects. And if you call now, you get a $50 Walmart gift card with estimate. Black Friday triple savings in November 30th. Call 608-729-4466. That's 608-729-4466.
It's a fact. 2 out of 3 Americans who qualify for Medicare do not receive all the benefits they deserve. You could be missing out. Now, Anthem Blue Cross and Blue Shield introduces a free Medicare plan checkup to make sure you receive all the benefits you qualify for in 2022. Call 1-855-597-0884 today and receive extra benefits for a $0 monthly premium. Benefits like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. And to help you stay healthy at home, you can have free prescription drug delivery, online doctor visits 24/7, and free exercise classes. You can even receive money towards over-the-counter health items. Call 1-855-597-0884 today and feel confident you have all the benefits you deserve for 2022. You can receive extra benefits for a $0 monthly premium, like dental, vision, hearing, and prescription drugs. Call 1-855-597-0884 and make sure you're not missing out.
Guys, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction, Peak Performance for Men has a natural solution that can help you today. That's right. Stop wasting money on pills and inferior technology that hurts and just masks your ED. Fix it for good. The best part, our ED treatment is non-invasive, painless, and you can get back to your natural functionability after just a few short in-office sessions. Call us today and mention this ad and your initial consultation is free. We are Madison's trusted specialist and only national erectile dysfunction provider. Call Peak Performance for Men today.
Celebrate,
The holidays are back around. All the family is back in town. I can't wait, I'm getting ready for this time of year. We'll be celebrating with our friends, and I wish would never end. So let's drink and raise a glass to this time of year.
Well, take a look at this. 1-year-old Sailor is struggling to pour some apple juice into a cup. Her mom is calmly trying to let her figure it out as she spills it everywhere. Eventually, Sailor manages to fill it to the top while also pouring in the entire bottle.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Then, as she tries to take a drink, she spills it all over her outfit, laughs, and dumps it out on the table. If at first you don't succeed.
Boy, do I give Mom props
There you
for
go.
this. For not intervening. Just let her figure it out.
Let her do her thing.
Oh, she is so priceless.
That's such a priceless
That's so cute.
Yeah, let her, she's got to learn, right? Now it's gone.
Yeah.
All right. Julian, looking like a nice start to December.
Yeah, we are looking for a nice start to December. A little bit on the slick side in the early morning, though, but we're going to talk more about that coming up with the full forecast after the break.
You know, from single living to growing families and empty nesters, your bathroom needs change over time. So let Mad City Baths help you design the perfect bathroom to fit your lifestyle. Whether it's a new bathtub for the kids, a walk-in shower, or walk-in tub for mom and dad, we'll install it in as little as 1 day. Now with Black Friday savings, save $250 with interest-free financing for 6 months and get $250 in Mad City cash. But when you call now, we'll triple your savings. Save $750 on a new bath or shower with interest-free financing for 18 months and triple it to $750 in Mad City cash for future home improvement projects. And this November, get Black Friday savings on all our bath and showers. Plus, call during this program and receive a $50 Walmart gift card with estimate. Throughout South Central Wisconsin, call 608-729-4466, Mad City Bass.
This Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. America's best-selling trucks are here and capable SUVs are rolling out. Get great offers on the Ford that's right for you, like Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV, and Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. So this Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. Now lease America's all-time best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer, for just $389 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Hello, I'm Roman Ryan of Ryan Funeral Homes. As a locally owned and operated funeral home, it's important to know that not all funeral homes are the same. Some other Madison area funeral homes are actually owned by corporations based outside of the United States. A corporately owned funeral home is focused on the bottom line, making services more costly. We have served local families for more than 80 years, and our priority is investing in the community and your family. In your time of need, Ryan Funeral Homes are here for you.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true, with diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this, now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments that may help your eyes and protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take control of your sight.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesdays. We're getting ready for our evening hours. A beautiful sunset for us as we're rolling into the later part of our day. As of right now, however, 43 degrees. We're still above those seasonable temperatures for us as we're still holding into some mild conditions. However, clouds are starting to build as we continue in throughout the rest of our evening. Now, taking a look at our evening especially, we're going to see those temperatures really start to decline, heading into those 30s, and the clouds will be continuing to build as well as we get into the nightly hours. And on top of those building clouds, we are looking for some quiet conditions, however, throughout much of our nights. So not really expecting much, but the one thing we're going to be keeping an eye on is what we're seeing into the west over in the overnight hours, starting off for our early parts of our Wednesday morning. Now, as we take a quick look as to why we're going to start to see some of that shakeup is because of this system that's coming in. This high pressure system has brought in that cold air, which has moved into the south. However, we are looking for that warm air to start to move in aloft, which is going to be bringing in that precipitation. But since it's so warm, it's going to be bringing in some of that rainy conditions. Now, this is how we're timing things out going into our morning. Overnight, we're going to start to see it really hit into the western side of southern Wisconsin for us. And then as we continue in, as the sun's going to start to rise for us, we're going to be looking for a bit of that mixture, but temperatures are going to be above freezing. Remember that. So since it's going to be above freezing, we are looking for that mixture of precipitation and some rainfall as well into the early hours. So we'll make things a bit on the wet side, but not going to be looking at anything more than minor impacts for our morning. Then as we continue in throughout the rest of the afternoon, we're still looking at some cloudy conditions, but temperatures, as you can see, are still going to be above seasonable as we're looking at those upper 40s and those lower 50s. And in terms of how much precipitation we're going to be seeing, is not going to be much and hardly even measurable. The only area that's going to be really seeing potentially anything will be for the La Crosse and Viroqua area. But for everywhere else, we're not even going to be looking at 1/10 of an inch of any kind of accumulated precipitation. However, once again, just for a visual aid as to why we're going to be seeing more rain or a mixture, it's because we're going to be seeing that warm air aloft, which is going to be above freezing, bringing in any of that precipitation to mainly be rain. since that warm air aloft is not cold enough or below freezing, we're not going to be seeing the icy or freezing rain, the slippery sleets, or even the snowfall just yet. Now, as we take a look at what else we're going to be seeing is what we're keeping an eye on for this weekend is potentially more mixtures and even some snowfall for us into the upper Midwest that could carry into our Monday. Now, as we take a look at the next few days, however, we're going to be seeing, once again, moderate conditions from going into Wednesday, into Thursday, and even for Friday as well. Those lower 40s are going to be sticking around for us. Much more quiet conditions. Then we're going to go into the weekend. Weekend's going to be a bit colder, but the good news is that we're not looking for too much of a headache in terms of impacts, except for Sunday, where we're keeping that eye on for some sunny or snowy conditions and some mixtures. But guys, it's not looking too bad for the forecast. I can't complain about this.
When reality finally sets in, it's going to be tough.
It's going to hurt. Yeah, but a lot of people are looking for a little snow.
Absolutely, but I'm going to keep dreaming for right now with the dry conditions.
All right, Julian, thank you.
Thanks, Julian.
Well, you might think you've had a little too much eggnog when the Christmas tree starts talking to you.
Well, that's what Woody does in Canada.
It's creeping out some people and delighting others.
Jeannie Mose has this holiday story.
It's a talking Christmas tree that's being talked about.
I'm so glad to be back home.
Talked about by everyone from little kids.
I never talked to one before.
To Jimmy Fallon.
Some people think it's cute while others think it's a little creepy. Now we know what the Christmas episode of Squid Game will look like.
After a 15-year hiatus, Woody the Talking Tree is back at the Micmac Mall in Nova Scotia, Canada, depicted as the Nightmare Before Christmas by one cartoonist. Kill it with fire, someone tweeted. Woody's very own Twitter account describes him as a chatty coniferous with a penchant for small talk in malls. But others see Woody as Tammy Faye reincarnated. There's something about kids talking to Woody reminiscent of Dorothy talking to the Wizard of Oz.
Do not arouse the wrath of the great and powerful Oz.
Woody got a makeover from this to this after an absence of 15 years, the mall manager says.
Woody was in the North Pole.
Actually, the mall changed management. Now Woody is inspiring kitty sketches, embroidery, tree ornaments, even fingernail art. But if the eyes are the windows to this Christmas tree's soul, Woody has problems.
He's having a lazy eye.
So lazy it had to be propped open with a pole at one point. Best not to see the behind-the-scenes magic.
I am the great and powerful Wizard of Oz.
Woody is the Wizard of Oz. Easy to needle. Jeannie Mose, CNN, New York.
What do you
I
think?
love it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of
I think it's really cool.
Not creepy at all.
No.
All right, coming up next on Live Before Consumer Reports helps us shopping for something old that's becoming useful again, TV antennas.
And then coming up next hour at 5, our Naomi Coles goes through the loophole that allowed Kyle Rittenhouse to open carry. We'll have that story at 5.
The shower is great. It fits my lifestyle, and that's what I needed.
It's an old house, but it's a newer bathroom, and it's just bright and airy. I like it a lot.
Mad City has more than 50,000 satisfied customers, A+ rated with the BBB. And if you've been on the fence about updating your bathroom, now's the time to call and take advantage of Black Friday savings. Save $250 with interest-free financing for 6 months and get $250 in Mad City cash. But act now and triple your savings. Save $750 on a new bath or shower. Installed in as little as 1 day, plus triple the financing, interest-free financing for 18 months, and triple it to $750 in Mad City cash for future home improvement projects. Plus, call during this program for a free $50 Walmart gift card with your in-home estimate. Call 608-729-4466.
Nothing beats a great night's sleep on a new mattress from Steinhofels. Right now, get a Beauty Rest Queen mattress for only $3.99. Upgrade and save up to $400. Plus, get a $100 MasterCard reward card with a Beauty Rest Harmony Luxe or Beauty Rest Black mattress purchase. Harmony Luxe Queens start at $14.99, and Beauty Rest Black Queen mattresses start at $21.99. And with free delivery, you can't make a mistake. Only at Steinhofels and Steinhofels.com.
What makes Salon Pass Arthritis Gel so good for arthritis pain? Salon Pass contains the most prescribed topical pain relief ingredient. It's clinically proven, reduces inflammation, and comes in original prescription strength. Salon Pass, it's good medicine.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. When it comes to saving money, the Marshalls are masterful. But back in the day, that was not the case. Today, savings is what drives them. That's why they chose Consumer Cellular.
You live and learn.
They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. Plus, AARP members get exclusive discounts. Switch today and get $100.
4 Super Bowls, 6 AFC championships. You?
Award-winning customer service, up to 30% off your auto insurance with Safe Pilot, made for the military community.
And who else?
That's all. USAA, only for the military community.
Tonight at 5, closing the loophole in the teen open carry law, the bill Wisconsin Democrats are introducing to fix the problem.
There may be a chance for a little light snow, sleet, freezing rain, or rain late tonight, depending on temperatures. But don't worry, temperatures will be around 50 by tomorrow afternoon. My forecast at 5.
And ahead at 6, an income and franchise tax exemption for restaurants. We'll tell you what's being proposed and the reason behind it. That's coming up tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Look at downtown Madison as the sun sets on November.
It's incredible. We have had some beautiful sunsets and sunrises.
Yeah, day after day.
Yeah.
Spectacular. Well, TV antennas have come a long way from the days of rabbit ears covered in tinfoil.
With more people cutting the cord to try to reduce expenses, antennas have become increasingly popular.
But which ones should you buy? Consumer Reports offers some top picks from its latest tests. Here's Leah Lynchide.
Chris Patterson and his family cut the cord years ago and started using an antenna to watch things like sports on Sunday and their local news. One of his favorite things about having an antenna:
there's no monthly fees, and you don't have to have any sort of contract with a cable company or any other company.
Consumer Reports recently tested indoor antennas of different shapes and sizes in homes both in the city and in the suburbs.
In our tests, most models were able to receive dozens of free over-the-air channels.
One that did well is the Winogard Flatwave Amped. It has a super thin design you can mount on a wall or a window. And some good news for bargain shoppers.
Our tests found little correlation between price and performance.
One example, this budget model from Naxa, which combines the rabbit ears and loop design of classic antennas with more modern features. No matter which antenna you choose, there are several factors that impact the number of channels you'll get. Some you have control over, others you don't.
Where you place your antenna can be really important. We suggest placing it as high as you can and preferably close to a window.
Other factors, like where you live and what's around your home, like buildings or trees, can also impact reception, which means you may need to try several models before finding the best antenna for your space. So CR suggests you shop somewhere with free returns and exchanges. As for Chris, he found another benefit to his antenna.
A couple years ago, when there was a major storm and the cable went out in town for a couple days, if you had an antenna, you could still watch TV.
For News 3 Now, this is Leah Lynchide.
Thank you, Leah. And here's one last tip from Consumer Reports. Rescan for channels every month or so.
You might pick up some news stations you couldn't get earlier. It's amazing how many stations there are.
No, it's true. Yeah, it's very true.
Well, still to come at 4, the world is holding its breath waiting for more information about the new COVID variant.
We'll get the very latest on the Omicron strain from UW Health's Chief Quality Officer, Dr. Jeff Potoff, when Live at 4 continues.
Tired of that old, outdated bath? A beautiful walk-in shower is just a phone call away. Mad City Baths, your local source for custom bath solutions installed in as little as 1 day. With premium wall patterns infused with microban for 24/7 protection against germs and bacteria. And our walk-in tubs offer easy access plus hydrotherapy. Don't miss out on Black Friday savings. Save $250 with interest-free financing for 6 months and get $250 in Mad City cash. But it's your last chance to call in during this program to triple your savings. Save $750 on your new bath or shower with interest-free financing for 18 months and triple it to $750 in Mad City cash for future home improvement projects and a $50 Walmart gift card with estimate. Call 608-729-4466, 608-729-4466.
Stanley Steamer loves Madison, Wisconsin. I'm Paul Ashik, local owner of Stanley Steamer here in Madison. We've been proudly cleaning your homes and businesses for over 30 years and will continue to keep your carpet, upholstery, area rugs, hard floors, and air ducts clean for many more. We strive to provide the best quality in both the services we provide and the equipment we use. That's why you've trusted us to keep Madison and southwestern Wisconsin homes cleaner, healthier, and more beautiful place to live. Call and book a cleaning today.
Stanley Steamer gets your home cleaner.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
This Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. America's best-selling trucks are here and capable SUVs are rolling out. Get great offers on the Ford that's right for you, like Ford Explorer, America's all-time best-selling SUV, and Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 44 years straight. So this Black Friday, get holiday ready with Ford. Now lease America's all-time best-selling SUV, Ford Explorer, for just $389 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Consumer Cellular has the best customer service.
They care about the customer.
The best price with best quality.
The prices, the coverage.
The coverage is great.
It was the same, if not better.
Consumer Cellular provides the exact same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Switch to Consumer Cellular and get talk, text, and data starting at just $20 a month.
It's like 4 scoops of ice cream for the price of 1.
Switch today and get $100 on every new line. Call or go online.
Well, a brief look at our traffic. If you're needing to get anywhere pretty quickly, you might want to take an alternate route than the Beltline. As of right now, we can see east and westbound are slow spots as of right now, extending through the Front Range Road and even towards Fish Hatchery into John Nolan. But as we take a quick look over into the interstates, we are still all green on the interstate. Over to you guys.
All right, Julian, thank you. A giant 5-ton star has been hoisted atop the Sagrada Familia's new tower of the Virgin Mary, another stage in the long completion of what has been dubbed the world's oldest building site. At a height of 453 feet, the new tower is the first to be completed since 1976 and is now the tallest of the complex, designed by visionary architect Gaudi. The glass and steel structure, known as Bethlehem Star, has 12 points and will change Barcelona's skyline both day and night.
Oh, that'll be beautiful
It's
to see.
spectacular.
You've been there.
I've been there several times. Yeah, it's still, if they ever finish it, it's not going to be a tourist attraction anymore.
Even more of the bucket list.
That's
now.
right. Well, the world's in a holding pattern, waiting to learn more about the Omicron variant.
How concerning is this new variant, and where is it now?
UW Health Chief Quality Officer Dr. Jeff Potoff is back with us. Welcome back.
Hi, Dr. Potoff.
Good to be here, guys.
On this all together, we're making a little progress, but how concerned are we about this new variant?
I think it's hard to know how concerned to be right now. If anything, it looks like it might be more contagious, but I think we still need to confirm that. What we don't know is, does it cause same level of disease, more severe disease, maybe even less severe disease? And then how well do our vaccines hold up against it? With all those mutations, it's reasonable to think maybe not that 94% type protection, but also reasonable not to think 0. It's going to have some benefit. So I think it's okay to be cautious, learn more, figure out what this is all about, but I don't think this is the end of the world. This won't send us back to square one.
So you think there's cause for concern but not alarm. Is that a good way to put it?
Absolutely. It's got features that make it pretty interesting. It might be a good virus, but at the same time, we're so much farther along and what we understand about the virus, how we can protect ourselves against the virus, how we can treat. You know, not worry that this takes us back to the beginning of the pandemic and we do it all over.
There has been such a swift reaction to this. I mean, it's just immediately. You know, travel restrictions, is that prudent or is it overreacting?
You know, I think the travel restrictions in and of themselves maybe buy you some time. They can maybe slow the spread, but what we found during the course of this pandemic is by the time you actually identify a variant, it's already traveled, just because we're such a mobile world. So to think that, you know, we're going to escape getting it because we put travel restrictions, that's probably not going to happen. Does it slow it? Maybe a little bit. I think it's maybe not a bad idea until you understand what's going on. But long term, I think it's going to be things like mandatory vaccination and testing before you get to a place that's going to be better at stopping transmission just than blanket travel bans.
Talk a little bit more about the mutations that you mentioned and how this variant is different than the other variants, and why it's going to take a while before we know whether our current vaccines are going to be helpful against this variant.
Yeah, that's a good question. So our previous variants, whether they're like alpha or beta or delta, they typically have 1 to 3 mutations of that spike protein that allows the cell to attach, or the virus to attach to our cell and infect us. Omicron has 30 mutations of that spike protein, so it looks a lot different. Now, our vaccines are trained to look for the spike protein of original coronavirus. Now, there's a lot to a spike protein. It's likely that our vaccines will still recognize that, but what they need to do is they need to take that new virus, Omicron, and then mix it with the antibodies that are created from someone who's been vaccinated, and then see what happens. Does it neutralize it? And if it does it neutralize it to the same extent as our original vaccines against original coronavirus, or is it lesser? And that'll help us know what we can expect from vaccines as far as performance against this new variant.
And that takes several weeks to figure this out.
Several weeks. We're probably looking at, 2-3 weeks, which, in science terms is pretty fast, but for the rest of us who are like, what's going on? It seems like an eternity. Yep.
So in the meantime, what are we supposed to do in this no man's land that we're in? I mean, I guess the boosters are probably more important now than ever, but we understand there's some availability issues in the area. Maybe that's just a demand situation.
It could be. I think the good news is there's nothing special that you need to do. So I think if you're not vaccinated, get vaccinated. We've said that 1,000 times. If you're vaccinated, but it's been a while, 6 months, 8 months, get those boosters. There are boosters available. There may be temporary shortages of a certain brand or something as shipments come in, but it's okay to mix and match, especially those mRNAs. So if you're a Moderna, go ahead and get Pfizer, or vice versa if you can't find it. And then other things, the old things, masking, distancing, things like that. I think if you see cases increase and Omicron becomes a big deal, you might see, at least for a short period of time, increased recommendations around masking, distancing, things like that. That works no matter what variant we're talking about.
Milwaukee is just instituting a mask, not a mandate, but a recommendation?
That's what I heard within the last couple of hours. It sounds like Milwaukee is instituting a citywide mask recommendation. I think they said kind of in preparation for Omicron, but quite frankly, Delta is at extremely high levels of transmission in Milwaukee County right now. The benefit today is to stop Delta. The benefit for tomorrow might be for Omicron.
So if you got vaccinated 6 months ago, like so many of us did, do you have any protection at this point?
Yeah, you do. So you have actually pretty good protection, likely 60 to 70% protection from getting any symptoms, and then even better protection against severe disease. The problem becomes is those folks who are vaccinated who then have those breakthrough cases, which could be more common, 4 in 10 people, they may not have any symptoms. A lot of people have just carried about their normal lives. They could be infecting a lot of other people at a higher rate than, originally when people were, 94% protected. It's pretty unlikely you were going to spread it. So if you haven't been boosted and you're eligible, go get that done.
Yeah, it's been almost 2 years. We know what to do by now.
Yeah, right.
Get vaccinated. Doctor, thanks for being with us again.
Anytime.
See you next week.
Good to see you.
Final check your forecast coming up.